Hi everybody, I wanted to give you a little bit of video feedback, and in this situation I show you go over everybody's just like we would in a classroom, and you get to see how others are making design decisions and so forth. You will have another week to work on this, and I understand this is in many cases this is your first site, and so I am thrilled with what you have come up with and how well you're doing. I know it's not easy. It does take time. It's not difficult. It just takes a little bit of time to get things the way you want. And so I understand that. So I'm going to jump right in here, and there'll just be some basic things that everyone will probably need to adjust. And so I will point those out so that you are able to work on those for your next iteration. All right. All right, first thing I notice on this one, I love the blue. It is definitely on brand for that. Probably the background could be that. I don't mind the terracotta. This gets a little busy back here, may not need that. And think about if you want this twice on a page, it really isn't needed here because you have it here, and likely this is going to show up on every page. We'll find out. When things are underlined, this is everybody, and I apologize if you're the first person, you're going to hear things that I may stop repeating as we go on, but important points. So when something's underlined, we tend to think that it's clickable. Maybe not here, but here it sort of feels like it. We want to be careful of stacking content if we don't need to, but when you take this out, you're going to be able to pull things up, and that's going to work out for you. All right, love that you have images, and you've done a really good job, really, of aligning these images. So that's always really important. And you have everything left aligned here. That's great. We want to provide a little hierarchy, which means starters is going to be a header. Larger font, and these where you have the name of something, that's going to be larger and a little separation. So just a little bit of layout there. You've done it here. Maybe a little bit of space between before you get to the header. A little here, a little there. This, because it's first, it could probably be bigger, hours of operation. And I guess that would go to Google Maps. We won't need that there because we already have it. I think one or the other, story or about, would be good. And just the right amount of content here. Okay, so then we come here. Let's put a little space after the venue here before we get into our body copy. And this is for everyone. When we use display fonts like this, it's fine if it's for initials, but it's really not for all caps. As you can see, it's a little hard to read those initials, but it works all right here. Maybe slightly bigger, but I don't mind it. It works. This is very legible. I love that I can read this white on blue. That was a super good choice. And I think, Kendra, what you can do is just use more of this. Probably not use this. Videos will slow our site down. Okay, so that's the reason there. And I think this could be closer to your other blue. But all in all, you've entered the content, and that makes it a good score. Okay, and let's see just how things are going to go. Okay, so we seem to have two menus. Okay, you'll make a choice there, and what you can do is, well, you'll just decide which one you like, but you can link this to this area if you decide that's what you want. Let's see. Okay, so this would anchor to, and you can just check out the question mark on how to anchor. You'll anchor that right here. Okay, and you'll want to freeze your navigation. And the way you do that is when you're in your editor, you're going to click on your header here and settings, and you'll have an opportunity to freeze that to where it will stay in place instead of, or let it roll with, your site there. Okay, so that's pretty good. You want to get right about there for this, and then a little space there, so that this then, okay, so you've really done a lot of work. You just are in the middle, aren't you? So you have some choices to make, but it's a great start. And I kind of like this. It's easy to read, but I think this probably needs to be your blue. Whatever color you use, you might try using the blue here as well instead of green. Okay. All right. And I'm not surprised you linked these up. You've done a lot of work. Okay. So you just want to make some choices there so you don't have duplicates. All right. Good job. All right. This is a difficult template to work with. So far, I think you've done a great job. Look at this. You've changed the background. Perfect. Just exactly what you needed to do there. Okay. All right, let's change this to REE. All right, and make that 2022 21. But you've done a really great job, Takori. And let's see, the logo could be bigger. Okay. Good. Let's see. Good. And you want to take this out, right? It's duplicated there. You could put the location schedule there. Good. Maybe come up a little more like that. Good. Let's left align that completely. Good. Now, this is the thing with this. We don't want to cover this up. It's not too bad. I really, it's not something that's on the top of your list to change, but you will notice that the navigation will cover this. But it's not really a deal breaker yet. You might want to make that a little bit bolder, or a font that's a little bit easier to read. Good job. Take that out. Checked that. Okay, so catering, I think you want to land right there. And your Instagram, you either take that page out, which would be fine. Just disable that page. And link that here. The alternative is to take this off. It almost feels like we have two contacts here. Well, let's put that. Okay. Yeah, you're going to remove one of those or rename them, and you want to make sure they're in order, and they are. All right, this is a great start. All right, you need more content, and let's see what we have here. Ordinarily, I don't like the tiling, but you have it kind of subdued, and the colors are good, so it's not conflicting too much, and the menu is very easy to read still. Okay, let's try, and you can, because this is fictitious. If it was a client, everyone would have to contact the editor and find out, with the client to see if you can cut things out. But this is your site, so you can cut a line or two out to make things align. That would be fine. All right. Well done. Well done. Okay. Let's see. Nice, same template. with a different approach. Okay, so we want to remove this space. This is kind of bold. The red isn't working for you. Maybe white would work, or a very light blue, but the red isn't working. You can see, you can't really read that. And this is vibrating a little bit. So let's try and stay on brand and stick with blues, greens, white, things like that. And taco shell color is okay too. So yeah, you'll want to do that. You don't have to have a map, so that doesn't have to be there if it's easier to not have it. We want our images to usually be about the same formatting. This is a great option, and so is this. You want to be mindful of having glassware for a food truck, and we want to align these, okay? And if you were to just cut this down to menu, that's fine. Like you have it shorter here. So, yeah, same thing here. Let's put a little space there, separate those a little bit. This, you can wrap up here. Watch how things are wrapping. Make your header a little larger, right? Okay, you can link those. All right. You can put the year, copyright year there. Okay, so the main thing, you know, a little bit of aligning here so we don't have the space like that. If I click here, okay, so let's disable that button. All right, and we need navigation. I don't see navigation anywhere. That's the biggie. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do. And then change the color so we can read this better. And then, you know, the details. All right? All right, great start. Okay. Good. Feels like a food truck. Could be. Good. Contact usually goes last. We'll see what you're doing there with the customers. Good. Let's make this an E, 2 E's there. 2 E's. Good, good. Very good. Okay, probably could use some reference to food, like an image or something like that. But you've got everything entered, and that's a great start. Okay, good. All right. Ordinarily, I would say that's a lot of scrolling, but it's laid out pretty easily. What you can also do is, and everyone, if you need to, combine Monday and Wednesday and Tuesday and Thursday because they're the same locations, if you need to do that. Okay, so let's left align that. I think we do have a lot of stacking here. I think we can take a little space out. And if there's anything here that you don't need, then we can, you know, bring this down a little bit, reduce the scrolling that way. Good. Interesting. Nice. Good. Okay. Let's see. Probably could bring that up a little bit. Okay. And you can link those. Okay. Yeah. We usually put the contact last. I'm going to just remind you of that. It'll be more important on your upcoming site. Okay. All right. Terrific start. Okay. Let's get a nice feel to it. You're linked up. Okay. And make sure your links are good. Okay. I think if you can get this wider at the bottom, it seems like it's in columns and maybe you can't, but if you can, then it would, give you a little more room up here. Okay. This page is working with the background. Some of the pages are competing a little bit. There's a little bit of scrolling here. You might be able to reduce this down, combine it a little bit, compress it. Yeah, this is a little busy here. Maybe just this. Maybe we don't need that. However, this doesn't feel like a food truck, but you have this to compensate. Interesting. Okay. You don't need a map here. It's really, competing with your background. Okay. All right. Nice. I'm sure you'll look over any details. All right. And so if you want to keep it here, that might be okay. And just take it off the other link. These probably need a little bit of space here. Okay. Let's check spelling, everybody. It's so easy to make a mistake, and I get that. So opportunities and so forth. Love it. You're just doing a great job. You've got a lot of special touches, all right? So you're almost there, just a few changes before you resubmit. Interesting. A little marketing there. Okay. I like that. Very clean. Okay, you guys are all doing such a great job. Nice. Very simple. If I wanted to know the locations and times, I see when and I see where. I love that. Okay. All right. I like the colors. Well, okay, yeah. I think the kerning is a little much. That means the space between the letters might be reduced a little. And I'm not sure, it feels like, that should be linking to your about information. Okay. So those buttons would be linked up. Okay. I see. Not sure you need to have that effect there. Okay, let's see, this is, yeah, I'm not sure you need to have that effect there on the lettering, but, and your buttons, you want to check those out, but I love the colors that you're using. Okay. It's got a really great feel. And I can tell you've spent some time on this. Okay. I'm excited to see what updates you might come up with. Okay. This one's a little off-brand. Maybe your last page you know, weren't able to spend as much time on. So I think that's a place where you'll kind of put your design sense to work. Make the lettering consistent throughout, right? I wouldn't use this again, but it's fine for that. But maybe this kind of idea. This is not too hard to read, but it gets lost over here. So I know you'll work on that and make it easy and readable. So a link to your contact. Okay, so a very clear contact would be good. All right. I love the colors. I love the style that you're bringing to this. Good job. Interesting. Nice. That could be a food truck. I like this image, but it looks like glassware. If it were cropped a little bit, it wouldn't, perhaps. Okay. You want to update your copyright. Remove those you're not using, and you can link up to the Real Deal Taco sites that are made. I believe it's a Twitter and a Facebook. This lettering, probably the navigation needs to be a little bit bigger, a little easier to read. Okay, so you'll want to edit this to align with this. I'm not going to say anything about that yet. We could pretend it's paper or so forth because it's a little fuzzy. But the width is good for this column. Let's see, you could also rewrap this to where it's a wider column and comes to the rule, or just shy of it, I guess, before you get there. So you have a choice there. Probably you do want to make it a little wider. There's a lot of space there. Okay. Well, this is a template, so I'm not sure what you have in mind for this. So you'll want to probably disable that. And be sure to remove any placeholders. And complete the menu and edit that. Not feeling tacos there, but yeah, a lot of the template is still remaining on this one, so you've got some work there. And template info, and you'll link those up. So you started the menu, and you have the about begun, and I think you'll need the locations and news. All right, so make sure you leave plenty of time, everybody, next weekend to finish up, and it will be due on a Sunday. Well, it may even be sooner than that. Yeah, so your revision is coming up. Leave plenty of time, all right, to do that. Okay. Let's try to have tacos there. Or, okay. Yeah, let's not repeat, even though one's a bowl and one's a cup, they are similar. So let's put your logo is fine just here, maybe a little bigger instead of there. Good. Take that off. And yeah, and if you don't have to have these for your sides, but you do. So, and we want to make sure we don't clip a logo, but I would, probably move the logo just so we're not repetitive with that. But it's a really good beginning that you have here. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. So you want to make sure that this, if this is where you're going to have your locations, that you have a link up here to link to that. Probably, is that on every page? Okay, so I would disable the blog if there are no news events there, or make it a news event, take blog off, and add the events. Okay, and that's your about. Good, good. Okay. All right. And think about how this overlaps, everybody. You can, maybe put it a vertical if you want over here. You could take the login off, disable that, and maybe good, you're linked up to that. Maybe put it here, but so it's not getting in the way of anything. It's just options, things to think about. All right. So you have your menu. You just need a page that says locations and link it up to right here. Okay, anchor that. And if you're not sure how to anchor it, just, in any place in your editor, select the question mark, type in anchor, and it will tell you how to do that if you're not already sure. All right. So I'm really thrilled with what you guys have done. I know it's, brand new to some of you, and layout is not easy. You have been given the content, which is good. And so you know what to ask a client for, and you know how to work that out. Now, I don't mind that this is in the footer. I haven't really seen that done very often, but then you wouldn't want it here. So you just want to make a choice. Either take it out of the footer and make sure that you are anchoring right here and you have a locations button. Seems like a lot, but not too bad. Little bit of time still, but you've done so much work already. All right. Great job, everybody.